Excuse me. There we go. Let's get one more round of applause for our jazz band. Seated in front of you is the 7th grade band, and they're going to open their portion of the program with a piece entitled At the Feast of Stephen, and this is based on Good King Wenceslas. And then we're going to follow it up with a slower tune called Pacem Noel, and it is a mix of the 2 tunes Dona Nobis Pacem, which means grant us peace, and then the first Noel. So it's kind of interpreted as grant us peace at Christmas time. So those will be the first 2 pieces that we perform. Our final piece that we're going to perform tonight is entitled The Night Before Christmas, and we are really excited to have a special guest narrator here with us tonight. Mr. Aaron Gant is a close friend of mine and a colleague of mine from way, way, way back in the day during our college days, and we are excited to have him here this year as the new band director at Lexington High School, and he's been doing some really fantastic things, and I know he's excited to have all of these students and all of those students next year at Lexington High School. Before I get to his portion of the program, I wanted to real quick shout out some of our 7th grade students that auditioned for the District Honor Band and were selected to the District Honor Band, which will take place in January. And I forgot to warn them that I was gonna do this, so hopefully they're not too embarrassed, but you can kind of just wave your hand when I call your name. So the following students auditioned and were selected to the Lexington 1 District Honor Band. Elizabeth Brooks on flute, Madison Hall on clarinet, Sean Soto, Sean Freeman, and Michael Boswell on trumpet, Olivia Bussell and Andrew Barrier on French horn. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Gant.
I'm the new band director here at Lexington, and like she said, we're doing such wonderful things here at the high school, a lot of new things, and we can only continue to do that when students that are seated before you and seated over here continue our program. Lexington has such a strong history of band, and we want that to continue, so we look forward to teaching these future Wildcats. So without further ado, we have 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I brought my Christmas light. A quick chimes malfunction. Hard to do Christmas music without chimes. Before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw open the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the lustre of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With the little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, on Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. Twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the dawn of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
if my 8th graders can stand up, we're gonna do a quick switch.